Hi everyone, it's Heather Kalea with Open Mind Healing. This is part 5 of Relationship Rescue, and this evening I'm going to talk about personal accountability. And if anybody knows me, they know I have a great sense of humor, and that's where I pretty much tell people it's time to put your big girl panties on and do what you got to do. Because a lot of people go through life and they just want to blame and blame and blame and blame. And a lot of times when I work with couples, not all people I work with are couples. I actually help people find partners and find relationships. And it's really exciting when you can have a positive story from somebody, because I was able to help them find their perfect soul vibration with someone else. And a lot of people get hung up on the twin flame and the soulmate connections. And what a soulmate does is a soulmate will I call them the earth shakers, because they will rock your world into the sense, not in a physical sense, but in a spiritual sense, because soulmates are here to hold you accountable to your soul contract. That's what a soulmate means, is that it's accountability. They are here to make sure, no matter what, that you accomplish your goal and your soul purpose. And they can be your kids, they can be your parents. You can have multiple soulmates. It doesn't have to be a love interest. But soulmates are really challenging. They're the ones that will mirror everything back to us and expose us in the most uncomfortable way. But in doing so, they also crack us wide open to let the light in. So be careful when you're praying for a soulmate, because you might end up with more than you can chew, because most of them are a lot of work. And together, if you can see that as a reflection, as a lesson, and as something positive, then that can come directly and benefit your life a lot faster. And a twin flame is basically the other half of your soul. So if your soul is split into two parts, they are the other half, and that is what we call love at first sight. If you can't live without this person, if you can't breathe without this person, because they're so sweet and so perfect, and they feel like you. They feel like you're the other half of them. It's a beautiful feeling, but they also will mirror us, and a lot of people will run because they might think it's too good to be true, or how could this possibly be, and how could they love me so much? I've never had this before. So we end up running away from something really good that's the other half of us, out of the fear. It's basically, we get broken down into fear, and it exposes us into a sense of a fragile place, because they're seeing the deepest parts of our love. We're exposing, we're vulnerable. They're seeing the deepest parts of our minds. They understand the deepest parts of our minds, and they reflect all that back to us. So it is a celebration when you find that one twin flame or true love, whatever you want to call it. It's perfect, but what happens in life isn't perfect. So that's where I'm saying let's all put your big girl panties on and let's get this done, because everything that has to do in a relationship has to do with you. It all reflects back to you. And regardless of who's the bad guy and who did this and who did that and who broke your heart and who, the list goes on, and that's, you have every right to feel that way, and it's a valid feeling, and I'm not diminishing that feeling at all. Been there, done it, got the t-shirt, honey. I'm there. Well, but I will say, if you work with me, I will go deep into your psyche, and we will expose these things, these little slivers that I call them, that are in our mind and in the psychology and like they're deep in our mind. So when I expose that, you're probably not going to like it, but it's a necessary process to become the truest you. Now this is in a healthy setting. I'm saying this in the sense of, I'm not a doctor or a psychologist, so I cannot prescribe medications or do anything for you. If you have a chronic illness or there's something else going on. But what I can do is I can help you find that perfect person. I can help you find who you are, and that is the perfect person. It's not someone else, it's you. And I will help you with that. So putting your big girl panties on and getting it done, that's for guys too. We also have another saying, it's shut up and color. And if you understand that, that's like a southern term. But it's basically like, you do what you got to do, let's get it done. Quit making excuses and quit blaming other people. So by saying that, the first thing that you have to ask yourself is, why does this upset me? What is this triggering in me? What does this have to do with me? Because whether you're with 1 or 100 people, which we've talked about before, you are the one who has to be happy, and you're the one who has to live with you the rest of your life. So even if you have the perfect thing wiggling on your face, the perfect person or whatever, and you're still going to find fault with it, then what is that saying about you? What does that have to do with you? Because obviously people who do that are always cycling in the same type of relationships. And that speaks volumes about who you are. So you can put the blame on them every single time, and you're the only one that ever breaks up because you're perfect. That's great. I'm sure that you will find fault in everything if you are always looking for it. But if you are truly in it for you, you will not find fault in every single thing. If you are not listening and hearing what the other person has to say, then you are not in it. If you are telling them what they want to hear, then you are not in it. If you are not being honest with yourself and them, then you are not in it and shouldn't be in it. These are all key factors. And you must love yourself, and not in a narcissistic love, in a sense of you have to validate your own true gifts and who you are. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you want. What are you willing to live with? What can you not live without? And if they can't give that to you, then can you live with it? Can you live with all the difficulties of this person? Can you, if they get sick and are dying, can you be by their bedside, or are you going to leave them? I mean, I've known people who have left other people when they were dying of cancer and they needed them the most, or something horrific and they just, or even something simple. Oh, you're depressed? I can't stay here. I have to leave. I'm divorcing you. People have good days and bad days. People have mental illnesses. People have physical illnesses. Things happen. This doesn't make them bad people. This should not be held as a punishment to the other person because you want perfection. So that's why I say you have to look at you. And if you want perfection, and if you want the buffet of life and you can't settle for one person, then don't expect to have a healthy relationship. Just be in the scene for what you want. And make sure the other person is okay with it. Because if you're telling them the exact opposite and you are still having the buffet, then you're destroying. Every time you destroy something in you, you're destroying something, or someone in something. Excuse me. Let me start over. Every time you destroy someone else, you destroy a part of you. So everything that you're doing is happening to you. So be very aware of that the next time you're in a relationship. And the next time you think you're getting away with something, you're doing that to you. Whether the other person is hurt or not, why would you do that to yourself? Because lies and betrayals and negative behaviors you're doing to yourself. And I want you to really sit on that. So the next time you think you're being cute and sneaky and, oh, they'll never know, or, oh, they won't find out, guess what? The truth always comes out. It always comes full circle. And you're doing all those things to yourself. So if you want love in a beautiful life, then you have to give love and beauty and compassion and kindness, and you will get that back tenfold onto you. And I'm not saying that in the sense of the Bible or anything. It is the absolute truth. We are all mirrors of each other, and we are all of the same one self. We are all of the same purpose and plan. And yes, some people are here to bring destruction, and others are here to bring love. And that is true. That's the balance. I'm not saying everyone has to be perfect, but what I'm saying is the next time you think that you're doing something to outsmart somebody or to hurt somebody or to do something intentional, you're doing that to you. And they don't have to do anything, because that's going to come full circle right back at you every single time. And the truth will always, always come out. Whether it's a year or 50 years, it always comes out. So think of that the next time you do something. Every action you take, you're doing it to yourself. And be accountable to you, and put your big girl panties on and start living life the way you deserve to be living it. This is Heather Kalea, again with Relationship Rescue, and I'm very honored to be a part of this journey with you. Please call me. I do events, and I am available for school, coaching, any kind of coaching, prayers. I'm a minister, hypnosis, and my list is on Open Mind Healing. Again, it is my honor to be a part of your journey. And mahalo. Have a wonderful week.